How do you rank on Google? That's the big question. It's great. Okay, that's wonderful, Sam. You know all this stuff, but how do we do it? How do we do something about it so we're not just victims of it, of the system? So you need to know that Google makes their money on advertising. As long as you know that, then every other thing follows. This is how Google makes their money. They make their money on advertising. And the more people that use Google, the more they can charge for advertising. So Google, of course, wants you to use them. And Google has this uncanny way of providing a positive user experience. If I go to Google and I do a search and I keep getting good search results, and I'm like, yeah, you know, they do a good job. If anybody who's a little bit older like me would remember the years before Google came around, and it was so hard to find good results. Google came around, I was like, oh, thank God, I'm looking for something and I could actually find the thing I'm looking for, and it's always good. So because of that, we keep using Google. Right? So Google wants you to have a positive user experience, because if you have a positive user experience, you're going to keep coming back and use Google. Right? So the positive user experience. If you, as a content producer, you're a business, you have a website, you are a content producer. If you as a content producer help Google to make sure that people have a positive user experience when using Google, Google will reward you with good rankings. The first way, so how do we provide a positive user experience? The first thing to do is we have to avoid Google suicide. All right, so here we go. You guys ready? We're gonna put some people on the hot seat. All right, you guys, all right, are we friends? All right, I hope so, because some of you guys are gonna get mad at me. All right, when you go up to the address bar and you just simply type in your domain name, there's a little lock that may or may not come up. It is a visual indication about whether your site has a valid SSL certificate for whatever that means. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but it doesn't matter for this talk. But if you're secure, Google's happy. If you're not secure, not only is Google not happy, it is literally Google suicide. Google has said clearly it does not want to rank sites that aren't secure. So if you are not secure, this is a problem. So let's see who sucks. I hope you guys see your name on here. I'm going to slow down for just a second. Did I miss anybody? Yeah. All right. So let's see who sucks. This is the test. We're looking for Complete Fence SD. You are the only company in here that failed this test. Your site is not that, which is a good result, by the way, because usually we get more. So this is literally, it's Google suicide. I don't think I need to explain that anymore. It needs to be fixed. Test number 2, we need to make sure, these are free tests, by the way, guys. I put these, now we have some pro tools we use, but for these talks, I always use these free tests so that you can go check it yourself. All of this stuff is in the notes. So you guys download those notes, the QR code, you'll get all these links, the whole deal. So you can do all this, you can send it to the goofballs back home that messed you up in the first place. Maybe they'll figure it out the second time. So this website here, all you gotta do is you gotta go plug in your domain name right there, hit test, and you're just looking for this. Is there any malware? Is your site blacklisted? These are important things to know. So here is the situation. Nobody failed. Nobody failed, but we do have some, so there's no suicide here. Google's still gonna be fine with you, but this indicates to me that there's a potential future problem. So pay attention. If you're on that list, talk to me later when we get out of here and I can maybe help guide you through what might have to go on here. A responsive website, a mobile-friendly website. Again, very clear. Google says they want people to have a positive user experience, which means when you pull up a website on a cell phone, it should look good. That's not positive user experience if your website looks like crap and doesn't work well on a cell phone. So that's why Google cares about this stuff, right? Because they want people to have a positive user experience. So here it is, SEOmater.com or however you say that. You put in your deal and you're just looking for this, something like that. The page, it's a pass, fail, mobile friendly, whatever. And we got problems here, people. That's kind of next level suck right there. This is your website did not pass the mobile friendly test. This site here is going to test your speed, the speed of your website. And I've gotten questions in the past about this, so I want to get out in front of it. Some people are about to see some results, and they'll be like, my site doesn't load that slow. Like you see, look how fast it loads. There's code in the background. It's not a visual thing. There's code in the background that is churning, trying to fully load. And until the site fully loads, that still goes against the load time. And Google said very clearly, Google doesn't tell you exactly. This is like the formula for Coke. We all basically know what is in Coke, but you don't know the exact formula. This is one of the rare times where Google came out and said, if a website does not load in less than 2 seconds, we are going to penalize them for their rankings. So site has to load fast because, of course, it's not a very positive user experience when I click on a bunch of links that Google is recommending and they're loading slow, loading slow, loading slow. If that happened too much, I would stop using Google. So that's why Google cares about this stuff. All right, now I'm going down the full list now. I wanted people to see where they sit. So sitting up here, very fast, very fast. A1, you got in here somewhere. Very fast, this is all good. Under a second, 1 second, everything looks good, right? You can see where you guys are. Now we're getting into the yellow, we're closing in.
Oh, time's up.
Yeah. So this is obviously a problem. This is, oof, well, you guys are already in the process of change. All right. Anyway, so sometimes this is a shock to people. Sometimes people sitting in a room get mad at me. And they're like, I just paid all this money for my website. And, they get pissed. You should get pissed. This is hurting you. This is hurting your company. Not at me, though. I'm just, I'm the messenger. All right, faster is not automatically better. Just because you sat at the very, very top of the list and my website loaded super, super fast, there are actually bad reasons why that could happen. Like if your website is so basic, where there's almost nothing on the site, there's no features, nothing, then there's almost no code to load, so it will load fast. So, and if you're only a little bit under 2 seconds, it's fine. There's good reasons why sites might be close to the 2 second deal, because you might have a lot of cool shit on your site that just takes but it stayed under 2 seconds, so it's good. So don't get a sense that, just because you're close to 2 seconds is a bad thing. But if you're over 2 seconds, it is a problem. Clear? All right, I don't know, we might have time for just a little bit more. All right, this one here, code validator, big deal, guys. This is a free test. This is a test. See this w3.org? That's literally the internet, the worldwide consortium. This comes straight from the internet. This is even bigger than Google. So this is a test of the quality of your code. If there's a bunch of errors on the code, however you check your website, maybe you always look at your website on a cell phone. Maybe it looks fine. Maybe it seems to be working fine. But then you go check it on an iPad, it doesn't work, or a Samsung because you have an iPhone, and all of a sudden there's errors that you didn't know. Like the quality of code is a real thing. A lot of errors is a problem, and Google will absolutely penalize you for a lot of errors. So here we go, taking it down. We got high steel, ideal, both interestingly .com. Anyway, this is low. Errors, a few errors, because not everything that it marks as an error is actually an error. Sometimes just a little warning, whatever. So when you have low numbers, it's probably okay. If you see anything that says critical error, I don't care if you only had one error. If it was a critical error, it's over for you. All right, so here we go. Keep coming down. You can see yourselves down the list here. If you haven't found yourself yet, you should start sweating. Here we go, A1. Came in, we're over 100. Once you're over 100, now, this is not your whole website. This is your home page. One page. So you can extrapolate how bad this could be. All right? And this is getting pretty bad here, guys. This is fail. I guarantee you that Google is not happy with you once you get in here. This is absolutely unreasonable, and you guys have critical errors, and that is deadly for sure. All right? So go home and yell at your web people. Call them idiots, tell them they suck, Sam said so, it's all good. So far, congratulations, Complete Custom Fence. You are our early leader. You're our early leader. Now don't get cocky, you haven't run away with it yet. There's more tests to go in a little bit. Do I not have the greatest job ever? I get to run around the country and just tell everybody they suck and they laugh, it's great. All right, so that's the end of the Google suicide. If you failed even one of those suicide tests, it absolutely is hurting your Google rankings. It's hard enough to get the rankings. You got to work hard to get them. you want to avoid any suicide issues, obviously. So if you saw your name anywhere on that list as a fail, that must be addressed. Must be. All right. Now, sometimes I hear people say, well, so you say, but I still rank, I'm one of the top 1 or 2 ranked companies in my whole area. And then what I would say to that is that everybody just sucks more than you do. Like, right? They just, you may, sometimes you win because you suck less. And sometimes you win because you're legitimately good. Let's win because we're legitimately good, because tomorrow, some young buck company that that startup hasn't put 3 fences in their lives, but they paid attention to their website and they did a good job, and all of a sudden 3 months from now you're chasing them from behind. You're like, this doesn't make any sense at all. These guys don't even know how to put a fence in, and they're outranking me on Google, and it's all because of stuff like this.